Hello, hello, and welcome, my friends, to the next video in the Create Better Content series, where I show you how to tap into your creativity so that you never run out of content ideas again. My name is Penny, and I am your guide, and I'm actually the developer of this unique content development process. In this process, I'm going to teach you how to create more engaging content, social media, email marketing, all of that stuff, everything that you want to post, everything you want to share that's going to help you reach more qualified customers. And if you want to learn more about creativity and how this can help you develop your content marketing plans, I would love to see you hit that button below and subscribe to this channel. And speaking of below, down in the description box, you're going to see a series of links. The first link that you'll see is from my book called I Just Did a Thing. In my book, I go into lots of details about science. I'm like nerding out on the science, so to speak. But I really need to explain to you, I wanted to explain to you what is the big deal about tapping into your creativity and how all this stuff and learning about your brain, your body, and your soul actually helps you with your content creation and making big changes in your business. The second link that you're going to see in that description box is so that you can subscribe to the Create Your Business program. This is the process that is included in all of these videos. It's the process of developing remarkable content because you'll experience the creative activities, you'll work through the workbooks, you'll actually see what it's like to develop a marketing strategy that is true to who you are and how your business can help your customers. So as we wrap up this year and head into the next one, I do want to talk about preparing your business for the new year. Because here's the thing. I know that there's all this planning stuff that we all do. We start to break it out, and maybe it's an Excel spreadsheet or a Word document, or you sketch it out on a piece of paper. However you do this. I know we all get into this and we all talk about our, quarterly marketing plans and start running the data and start running the numbers. And I totally get that because I do it too. But I want to talk with you more about what actually happened this year with your business so that you know where you're going next year. I always say to my clients, how do you know where you're going if you don't know where you've been? So let's talk through this a bit more, and this is going to help you work through how you can create a more authentic plan for you and your business for 2024. So before you get into the numbers and the data and getting yourself in the weeds of however you work through your marketing plans, before you actually start working through all of this, I would love for you to take a pause and to listen to the questions that I'm going to share with you. Listen to the prompts that's going to give you some time to look back over this year. Because maybe there were a lot of changes for you this year. Maybe it was a year of growth. Maybe it was a year of discovery. Or maybe you just had a year of letting go. Gosh, that one hit me. Sorry about that. But, whatever happened, I'm back here with you. Sorry, guys. I don't know why that emotionally hit me so much as it did, but it really did. Wow. So whatever happened to you, and it got you to this point that you're at right now. So right now, you are where you are meant to be. So let's sort through this year. And I want you to work through some prompts and some questions that I'm going to share with you. Because here's the thing. And when it comes to this stuff, what you're working through right now, I want you to understand that there is a difference between being grounded and being stuck. Because when you are being grounded and when you're rooted and when you really believe in what you're doing and you really know how you're going to be moving forward and you really are in tuned and aligned with your marketing plans and in tuned and aligned with what's going on with your business, it's different than just being stuck. So I want you to think about that as we move this whole process. Is this helping me to stay grounded, or am I moving through this place where I'm just stuck and I can move into a better place of alignment and a better place of authenticity when it comes to who I am and how my business is helping my customers and everything else that goes into why I'm even a business owner to begin with. So just a word of advice here. You can listen to this video all the way through and then go back and listen to the prompts and questions. Or you can hit the pause button after each of the sections to write out your answers. However you do this, there's no right way, there's no wrong way, there's always your way, which is what I like to say. Let me start that sentence over again. However you do this, I recommend that you do something to write through your answers. I want you to think through the prompts. I want you to see where it takes you. Because I want you to think about this from that perspective of, is this helping me feeling grounded and rooted in what I'm working on? Or am I just stuck? So think about that as we move through this. So the first section, the first set of questions, let's talk about the year in general. What surprised you this year? And another question I would ask, and this is a hard one, what did fear hold you back from this year? Where did you practice bravery this year? Now, if I was to answer some of those questions, and I have, as a matter of fact, when I answered those questions, let me change it like that, I would actually say, when it came to fear, COVID is still with me. And I don't mean COVID, the illness and the sickness and all of that, because thank the dear Lord, I did not get COVID the entire time, which is like amazing to me. But I meant COVID itself, the way that COVID changed the way that we work, the way that COVID changed our businesses. And when COVID hit, my business just flatlined. I mean, I've never seen this. I've been in business for 24 years and I've never seen anything like this. And I know it has everything to do with the fact that as a content marketing consultant, I'm not considered, and I'm doing air quotes here, essential worker. And I totally get that. I am not an essential worker. Okay, and it's something you could do this yourself. You don't have to hire somebody. I get that. So I don't need to go through all of that. But where I felt the fear, and I'm going to honestly admit this, I was still living in it, at least for the first 6 months of this year. I was still just trying to feel my way. What could I do? How could I keep moving forward so I don't fall back into that place that I was in COVID? I was still living in that mindset that any minute now, I'm going to flatline. Any minute now, everything's going to go away, just like it did in COVID. Any minute now, something's going to change. It's going to be completely out of my control. And that was the fear that I was living in. And so I finally, I'd say probably around the summertime months, I went through a lot of deep thoughts, a lot of mental processing, and I came out on the other end and realized that that was what was holding me back. And it was such a revelation when I finally realized it, when I finally saw the full picture of what I was doing and why I was doing it. So that's what I want you to think about here. Think about where you experienced fear that held you back, and how did you practice bravery? How did you come back out of it? Because that's a really important piece of this. So the next section we want to talk about is your accomplishments, either personally or professionally, either one of them, because as business owners, our personal lives always commingle with what's going on with us professionally. So maybe there was something personally that happened to you as well as professionally. So I want you to think about 3 things that went really, really well. 3 accomplishments that you are the most proud of. And when you think through these things, ask yourself these questions. So what skills helped you to make it happen? Are there skills that you developed? Is it skills that you already knew? And as you were working through this, what did you learn about yourself as you either made this huge accomplishment personally or professionally? What did you learn? I really can push through the fear. I really am living in this mindset problem, and then I, was able to work through it. What did you learn about yourself? And how did you celebrate your accomplishments? I think that's a really important point, because we do accomplishments all the time, especially as women, and we don't take the time to really, really celebrate and acknowledge that we have done this and really congratulate ourselves. And it doesn't even have to be something amazingly huge. For me, how I celebrate is I'll take a day off and go to the beach with my dog. I will go find someplace amazing to go, walking. I have a really big thing about sunrises and sunsets. So I know for me personally, during the week of Thanksgiving, I woke up super, super early and drove all the way down to my favorite spot at the beach near my house. And I was there and watched the sunrise. And then I spent the day walking my dog on the boardwalk, being right by the ocean. And it's not that I had to celebrate and go out drinking and had a whole bunch of friends and have a big party. So when I'm talking about us celebrating, that was me celebrating the things that I love, the things that I wanted to do. And so when I ask you, how did you celebrate? Think about it like that. And if you didn't celebrate, why not? And as you move into 2024, I want you to think about this. So when you acknowledge yourself and your accomplishments that you made, that's either personally or professionally, and you think about your skills and what you learned about yourself, make time to celebrate. Make time to do the things that you want to do. And you notice that when I shared you with my story, not once did I say I spent a whole bunch of money. I had all these people. These people flew in from out of town to do this and that. No, because sometimes celebration is just a private and it's a personal thing that we do, something that makes us feel good, something that helps energize us, something that reminds us that, you know what, you did a really good job on X, Y, and Z, and I'm so proud of you, and let's celebrate. So think of it from that perspective. All right, let's go into the next section. So we talked about our accomplishments. With the next section, I want to talk about your challenges. What are 3 things that challenged you this year? What are things that tested your limits or even your patience? What the heck happened? Think about your challenges, and they could be personal too, and they could be professional, because like I said before, as business owners, everything seems to be commingling together. So I want you to ask yourself, when you think about your challenges, how did you deal with those challenges? Did you discover new tools that helped you that you continue to use right now? What have you learned about yourself? I know I asked you that about the accomplishments, but the same thing happens with our challenges. Especially when we go through challenges, we tend to really learn something about ourselves and about who we are. So when I look back on my challenges, as I was sharing with you about, how I had this fear about COVID, one of the things that pulled me out was, and this is so typical of business owners, I work one-on-one with clients, and I was taking them through this process that I call RBI, research, brainstorm, and implement. And it's really amazing how we can teach other people this information, but we don't do it for ourselves. I know that sounds so weird, especially as a consultant. You would think I would immediately jump to it for myself, but I did not. But when I went through this, and when I went through this process and I came down to the other end and was like, okay, so this is where we are. This is what's happening. Well, thanks, Cooper. So sorry about that. Was my dog. So when we think about this, it hit me. Here I am working RBI, research, brainstorm, and implement, with everybody else that I work with. Why wasn't I doing it for myself? Duh. So what I did was, once I came to this realization, I don't know if it's a new tool for me, because it's a process that I've been developing over the last couple of years, and I work on with my clients. But this tool, maybe it's a new tool for me. Maybe that's the best way I can describe it. So once I came to this conclusion, I started to treat myself and my business like I was my own client. And so I pushed forward and I worked through the RBI, which is research, brainstorm, and implement. And basically what RBI means is that you can't move on to the next step until you've completed the first one. So when you research and you go down the research rabbit hole, there has to be a stopping point. And then you take that time, that information that you learn, and you brainstorm about what it is that you're doing. Hopefully you're connecting some sort of creative exercise with it, and then you implement it. This is the process that I use that will help you be more productive, help you actually implement those great big hairy scary goals that you have when you break them down into those small bits of the RBI. Okay, I don't want to get too distracted and go into RBI. That I think I have a video about that already, and when I could probably put that link in the description below. But what I had done was I started to develop RBI tool on myself and on my business, and like, whoo, a light bulb moment came on. And so when I was dealing with my challenges, that is one of the things that I had done to move through that whole process. Okay, let's move into the next section. Let's start to look at the new year as we're moving into the new year. And ask yourself these questions. What are you looking forward to in the new year? What are you feeling concerned about going into the new year? And if we fast forward to December of next year, let's say you're sitting at your desk, or maybe you're at a coffee shop, or wherever it is that you go out and do your work, and you're reviewing the year, and you think about your business. So if you're at this point of the year next year, where do you think your business will be at this time of the year? What's going on with your work, your dreams, your business, your goals? Think about that. That's a really good question to think about. That's that whole projection of where would I be in a year from now? What would be different? What would be new? What would be exciting? What would be the things that I know that I would have accomplished? What would be the challenges that I pushed through this year? That's the type of information that I'm looking for with that question. And now I've got a series of prompts that I want you to think about as we wrap up looking at the new year. So I want you to think about these prompts. This time next year, I will be blank. I will be here. I will be doing this. I will be what? You will be what? This time next year, I will have blank. What will you have? What will you be thinking about? Again, this is your work, your dreams, your business, your goals. This all gets included into everything. This time next year, I will feel. What do you think you're going to be feeling? Will you be feeling bravery? Will you be feeling, excited for the next year? Will you be feeling so accomplished because of all the things that you actually pushed yourself through? What will you be feeling at this time next year? And the last one I want you to think about is this time next year, I will be doing blank. What was it that you're going to be doing? So as you go through your answers and spend some time on these prompts, think about which ones you felt challenged to answer. Why did they challenge you? Did they bring up an emotion? Did it bring up a fear? Did it bring up some underlying feeling like I did earlier? I can't believe I was about to cry. That was weird. No, actually, it wasn't weird. I shouldn't say that. But you know what I'm saying. So I want you to think about that. Why did that hit me so hard? What was it about that moment? Because I think it brought me back to that moment of, oh my God, I know how it felt. And it just the fear. That's where that was coming from. The absolute fear. So as I'm like trying to, that felt weird. I'm just all trying to brush it aside, but it was fear. Let me be honest with you. That's where that was coming from. So think about this as you're moving through these prompts. Where did you feel challenged to answer? What got brought up for you? Maybe emotionally, mentally, physically. What happened to you? And as you develop your 2024 plans, and because I am who I am, and the Create Your Business program is what it is, I want to ask you to see if you can find some way in 2024 to inject some creativity into your world. Think about what innovative ideas that you can bring to the table. Think about what is going to add to make your journey more exciting and enjoyable. I want you to think outside the box. I want you to think about What can I do differently to put myself in a better space so when I'm here at this place next year, December, looking back over my year, I'm going to be so glad that I did X, Y, and Z. So think about all of that and spend some time on these prompts and spend some time answering these questions, whether you have to write these out by hand, whether you're typing them out into a Word document or a Google Doc or whatever it is that you're going to do. Write these out. Look for these places and spaces where you can uncover some things and learn some things about yourself to help you know that your 2024 plans are going to be incredible. So after you work through this whole process, I want you to give yourself a high five because you have just set the stage for something amazing and remarkable to happen to you in the year ahead. So thank you so much for joining me today with this creative process. If you've enjoyed this content about creativity, I hope that you will consider subscribing to this channel. Because if you're ready to dig in and do the deep work of developing your content marketing strategy, as I shared with you before, the link is below to subscribe to the Create Your Business program. You'll get more content like the ones that I talked through in today's video. And when your monthly interactive workbook shows up in your inbox and your creative tools show up at your front door, you'll learn how to develop your content marketing plans in a new way to ensure that you, my friend, will never run out of content ideas again. You are magnificent, my friend, and let me be the first to say, I'm proud of you. Until next time.